Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey, and today I'd like to take a look at this little guy right here. It's Epic, the card game from White Wizard Games, the same people who brought you Star Realms last year, the huge hit at Origins 2014. And let's see, they hit a home run last year. What did they do this year with Epic? Let's take a look at it. We'll come back a little bit. So here's what you get in a box of Epic. All comes in this little guy right here. And you get your tokens. These are double-sided. Zombies and wolves on 4 of these cards. And then you got humans and demons on those 4. Then you get 120 cards to play with. Enough to go up to, for the core set, enough to go up to 4 players. And then here, this little dinky thing. That's the rule book. It's about the size of a card, and as you can see, that's somewhat problematic. The text is really small, and you know what? I know I'm probably sounding like an old codger, but that is just becoming a lot more annoying as these things go along, and I'm not getting any younger. So there you have it. This is what you get in the box. Let's see how you play it. Now, in a game of Epic, basically, you are going to be playing out each turn that you have in 4 phases. The first phase is you would draw a card from your deck, but you don't do that on the first hand, on the first turn, because you've already drawn 5 cards as your starting hand. So on successive turns, you're going to be, the first thing you'll do is draw a card. Then you'll be able to play cards as much as you want, as long as you're able to pay the cost. Now, that's one of the things that we need to talk about first of all, and that is simply this. The cards in Epic have basically 2 costs in them. You have to pay 1 gold, or it's absolutely free. And that's one of the hitches of the game. I want to say that right off the bat, because if you get a handful of these guys, because they're events and they're also champions, and the other guy doesn't get any at all, the other guy's going to be playing 1 card on his turn while you're playing any number of cards on your turn. That's a serious problem, in my opinion. Anyway, at the beginning of the turn, you're going to be getting 1 gold. Doesn't matter if it's your turn or not, you get a gold at the beginning of every single turn. Now, that might sound like, ooh, I'm going to get a lot of gold. No, you're actually not, because even if you don't use that gold during your turn or during the other person's turn, at the end of that turn, it goes away. On your turn, you're going to take your hand of cards up into your hand, and you see that, ooh, I got a lot of free cards. Cool. I got 2 events that are free cards, and then I also got a champion that's a free card, and I also got a couple of cards that I have to pay that 1 gold for. So on my turn, I'm going to, for my first turn, I just take my cards, and let's see, I'm going to play a Fire Shaman, so that's cool. She doesn't cost me anything. She gives me 3 attack and 2 defense. And if I have another card out there that is the same clan as her, I get to deal 3 damage to a target. So there you have that. And then I'm going to use my 1 gold. Oh, I put my hand out there like I was actually using it, but I don't actually get to use it because it doesn't come in the game. So I use my 1 gold, and that is there. This simply means loyalty 2. So loyalty 2 simply means that I can reveal 2 of the same kind of faction that's in my hand, and then I would be able to get to do that effect. But since I don't have 2 more of this guy in my hand, or this faction in my hand, that actually doesn't take effect. But the problem is, my guys, my champions, are still in the deployment phase. So they're still deploying my entire turn. Unless a person, champion, has the word blitz on the card, you cannot deploy and attack. Otherwise, they are considered to still be deploying during your entire turn. So since that's all I can really do, I'm done. So the other person picks up their hand, and they look at their, oh look, they got a whole bunch of 1s. And they only have 1 thing, and it's not even a champion. It's just a Sage event. But that Sage event is actually pretty cool. But anyway, so I'm going to, let's see here. Well, good thing I got the Burrowing Worm there, because it's an 18/18, which means I can sustain both of these guys' attacks together. And he only cost me my 1 gold. All right. So now he's still deploying. Breakthrough here means that if there is any more damage left over that the burrowing worm has done, after any blocking units is done, that goes through and hits my opponent's life force. But he's still deploying, so he can't attack. So now we're done. Back to my turn. Now we both get that gold back again, and I draw one card from my deck, put it into my hand. On my turn, I'm going to use my 1 gold to play Vital Mission. It says banish target champion. Its controller gains health equal to its offense. Now this is really good for this person, but we're going to go ahead and use that to banish him. Banish means they simply goes to the discard pile. Now the person gains 18 life points, which means they now have 48 because they started with 30, just like I did. But now I'm going to hit you for both. So that's 12 damage. Oh yeah, and while we're at it, we're going to play a couple free events here as well. Wolf Champion is going to add 2 attack and 2 defense to a target champion. We'll add it to the Fire Shaman. Then we're going to play a Fireball, which deals 3 damage to a target. Okay, well, who's the target? My opponent. Okay, so you lose 3 damage, so now they're down to 45. Person over here also has the opportunity to play any cards. So we're going to play Hasty Retreat. Hasty Retreat is free, and it says return target attacking champion to its owner's hand. All right, so right now we're going to say Time Walker comes back to the opponent's hand. Nothing I can do about that, and so forth and so on. So that was a free one. Let's see, do we want to play anything else? These are all champions except for this one. I'm going to go ahead and play that. It costs my 1 gold that I got at the beginning of my opponent's turn. And it says draw 2 cards. So we're going to draw 2 cards up into my hand, but they're both 1s, so I can't play them. So we're done. So now what happens here is everything is put away. This person actually gets through and attacks. So we have 5 damage. So now that person is down to 40 damage. So that's that. This stays as attacking, which simply means that he would not be able to attack again this turn. But at the end of the turn, he's going to prepare and be ready. This goes away because it was only for a solitary turn. And now it's my opponent's turn. So my opponent draws a card and looks at the cards that they have. Well, they only have the ability to play 1 of these cards because they get $1 to go at the beginning. So we're going to go with Medusa. We'll play Medusa down here. And she does have an ambush ability, loyalty 2. I've only got 1 of the same faction card in my hand, so that doesn't happen. And now she can at least be ready to block on my opponent's turn should he decide to attack. So now it comes back. We're going to spend our $1 to put that Sage Walker back out there. That's all I can do. So we're going to attack with the Fire Shaman. Now they did get $1 back on the beginning of my turn, so we're going to pay $1 to play Hurricane, which allows us to draw 2 cards. Got 2 cards that we would be able to play. Put a demon token into play, or banish target player's discard pile, recycle, or draw 2 cards. We're just not going to do that. Medusa will block, which flips her. This person does 3 damage, which doesn't kill her, but this person does 6, which does kill her. So that banishes, or not banishes, but breaks my champion. And now that she has blocked, and I'm going to declare the end of my turn. So now it's my opponent's turn. All of these cards right themselves, and my opponent takes another turn. So we both get the $1 back. Rally the people, put a human token into play. Your champions get +1 this turn. That's not bad. Okay, we're going to put Avenging Angel in. That's our 1 gold. And then we're also going to play Rally the People, which allows us to put a human token into play, and then your champions get +1 this turn. So a human token comes into play, and let's see here. So that is in effect. So these two are both +1. Avenging Angel is airborne, which means that only other airborne champions can block her. She also has Blitz, which means that she can attack immediately after being deployed. And Righteous here means that whenever I deal damage with that character, I actually get life points back. So that's actually a pretty cool thing too. That's actually a pretty good card. We're going to go ahead and attack with her. And since this Time Walker is not airborne, we can't do anything about it. So that's an automatic 7 points because the event gave me +1. So that's 7 points. I'm down to 23. And then we'll have Medusa. Actually, we won't have Medusa attack because Time Walker will just kill her anyway. That is the end of that turn. And that's how the game would continue until one person or the other has no life points left. You start the game with 30, so it can go pretty quick after that. Another way that the book says, the rule book says that you can win is by going through your entire deck before the other person does. So if at any point you need to draw a card and you cannot because your draw pile is gone, you win. Now, one of the high points that Epic has going for it is the artwork. The artwork is absolutely phenomenally done. Even the graphic design of the cards is not bad either. It's very clear how much attack does and how much defense there is, how much it costs, what faction it belongs to, the title, and even the text, while it is a little small, is not as small as I have seen on some card games. So the graphic design of Epic is actually not bad, and the artwork is very well done, and that is probably one of the draw points of Epic the card game. It has a very nice look to it. So some of the effects are pretty neat too. Blitzing, I do like that effect. That breaks that rule of not being able to attack the same time you deploy. So many of the Blitz characters will have lower attack values and lower defense values. But it's because they break that core rule of the game. Some of the events that go into effect are what you would probably expect to find, in that they are adding attack values and defense values and allowing you to draw more cards and that type of thing. So that is a strategy. The more cards you draw, the more opportunity you have in your hands to be able to strike damage. Ambush is a cool thing. It can actually be played, it's a champion that can be played on your opponent's turn. It doesn't have to be yours. So the whole use of tokens, these different kinds of cards that are able to be added into the game, that's interesting too. These are kind of like NPCs in your Epic card game that's going on here. You have very powerful characters from the very beginning of the game, and you can get them out very easily. So, that is Epic the card game. Now, the rules have within it all of these different ideas about what you should do in setting up your decks and building the deck before the actual game takes place, drafting sets, sealed draft, whatever. A bunch of lingo that CCG players will understand and know, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a CCG player, so I'm not really savvy on all of that lingo. My sons and I did draft the cards, and let me tell you, drafting the cards took longer than playing the game. That's a problem. Why are you wanting me to memorize what 20 different words do, because that's the only thing you put on the card is a word that denotes a special ability that now I have to go back to the rule book and hunt out? Yes, I understand that after a whole bunch of plays, I'm going to know these right off the bat, and it's going to be no problem whatsoever. Not having it. Second problem I have with this game, it's not complete. I really, really dislike the fact that you don't have everything that you need. At least with Star Realms, even though I didn't like them, the little point cards that they included in Star Realms, that allowed you to keep track of your life. That's not here. Why? You must include the things that you need in the game. What about those tokens? The human tokens and the demon tokens and the zombie tokens. You only gave me 8 cards for 4 different kinds of tokens, and they're double-sided. That's not enough for a base 2-player game. You hit it out of the park, White Wizard Games, with Star Realms, and I still enjoy playing Star Realms, and my family still enjoys playing Star Realms. But Epic, the card game, great artwork, man. Whoever you got in your pocket to do the art, well done. I just wish there was a game that came along with the artwork, because quite frankly, this is not appealing to me. This is more investment than I want from a game this size. I understand I'm supposed to be building my own deck. I understand I'm supposed to be drafting cards. I understand that I'm supposed to be putting all this time into building my deck. I just don't want to, because the game payoff is not there. For all you people out there that might be looking into this game, maybe you kickstarted it and you got a whole bunch of stuff that the rest of us aren't able to get right off the bat. Good for you. But quite frankly, Epic is anything but epic. See you on the flip side, folks.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.